Hi, it's Gary Lafferty here, founder of Speak Up and Profit. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you my 5 top tips on how to give a persuasive presentation. Now make sure you watch the end because I'm also going to show you how you can get your hands on my cheat sheet, how to deliver a pitch and presentation with confidence each and every time. So make sure you hang around for that. Now, if you would love more videos on building your business, building your confidence and making a bigger impact on the world, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell so that you can be notified as soon as I release a new video for you. So let's get started. Tip number 1 in how to deliver a persuasive presentation is to show up and give. In order to give a persuasive presentation, you must be prepared to give all of you. Give your very best that you can to your audiences. So many times I see a presenter deliver a presentation with an ulterior motive. They're already thinking about what's in it for them. What can they get out of it? When you want to deliver a really powerful, persuasive presentation, you want to think about the audience. What's in it for them? What are they going to get out of it? And how can you deliver that? Delivering your very best each and every time you present. That's how you deliver a persuasive presentation, and that's how you have the audience engaged with you and hanging on to each and every word. So show up, give the very best you can, and that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to be you and be authentic. Now, there are many great speakers out there, and whether you aspire to be one of them, you're not. You're you. Don't try and be somebody else. Don't try and be the Tony Robbins, Gary Vee, Les Brown, Bernie Brown, or whoever floats your boat. The audience wants to see authenticity. They want to see you, all your perfections and all your flaws. None of us are perfect. Audiences love it when we make a mistake and we're not quite as perfect as we think we are, and we can err and some of us forget our words and we stumble, but that's what makes it real. Never be afraid to be you. Never be afraid to be just your real, authentic self, and that will keep audiences hanging on to your word, and that's how you deliver a powerful presentation with tip number 2. Now, tip number 3 is to keep it stupidly simple. There's a big difference between a persuasive presentation and a lecture. As we all know, a lecture is about getting as much information out to the audience as quickly as we possibly can. But a powerful presentation is more like the menu compared to the recipe. We want to deliver quick points so the audience knows what they're getting. Now, for those who are interested in the recipe, they can go to a lecture or there's another presentation that they can do. But predominantly for a persuasive presentation, we want to whet their appetite with the menu. So keep the menu short and sweet. Where possible, try and keep it to no more than 3 to 5 takeaways. Now, if you've got a lot more information, is there any way that you can package up the information into 3 to 5 takeaways, 3 to 5 points? If you can't do 3 to 5 points, you've probably got too much anyway, and that would lead to information overload. That's when you will lose your audience. They'll switch off because their brains, as much as they want to, can't take any more information in. We can all take 3 to 5 bullet points. We want takeaways that we can say that speaker gave us this, this, and this, and that's what I learned from it. So try and keep your presentations as succinct as possible. Think of it more like a menu, and that they are takeaways for your audience to use after your presentation. So tip number 4. Tip number 4 is to be bold. Don't be afraid to make a difference. Don't be afraid to come of it from a different angle. You may be talking about or presenting about a topic which has been spoken about before, many times before. But the audience wants to hear your slant on it. They want to hear your angle on it, your take on it. That's what makes it different. That's what makes it interesting, is when somebody can take a topic that we've all heard before, probably understand, but gives us a different point of view to look at it from, like a different camera angle, if you like. That's how we do persuasive presentations, is by involving the audience into a different way of thinking, preferably, and we'll talk about this in other videos, about preferably in a story. If you can bring your audience into your presentation via a story, that's even better. But don't have to go down the same route just because it's the same topic. Be bold, stand out, be you, and that's almost like going back to tip number 2, which is be you, be authentic, and have a different point of view on that. And that leads us to tip number 5. And tip number 5 is to practice. Practice does make perfect. Very, very few people I've met over the years can actually just get up there and wing it. Not that you'd probably want to do that anyway. Practice, the more practice you do, the better you're going to be at it. It doesn't matter if it's speaking, presenting, or cooking, or sports. It makes no difference. The more you do, the better you get at it. Now, let's just make this one caveat for you so you understand. I'm not asking you to practice to be pitch perfect, to be word perfect. No. Tip number 2, be yourself, be authentic. We're not perfect by human nature terms, so we want to stumble across our words every now and again. We want to make a mistake every now and again, and audiences love that because they can see the human inside you. So we're not practicing to be word perfect. There are very, very few presentations which require us to be absolutely word perfect. The 3 areas I would suggest that we practice on and nail would be the beginning. Make sure you have a really good beginning. Make sure you have a really good ending. And then the 3 to 5 points that we discussed earlier. Those are the main outlines. The rest of the words you can fill in and be you. So practice as much as you can. Now, what do I mean by practice? How can you practice? Well, you can practice in a certain way. If you haven't got the audience to practice to, you can practice using different tools, like a camera, like your phone, like a mirror, or you can do what I did when I first started speaking a couple of decades ago, which was to get all my daughter's cuddly toys and stuffed animals. And I used to put them all on the sofa or on the bed, so they have eyes looking at me. So I had to give eye contact to all of her toys. Bit weird, I know, but whatever floats your boat, whatever works for you. So those are now my 5 top tips on how to give a powerful, persuasive presentation. Now, if you want to get hold of that cheat sheet that I mentioned earlier, how to deliver and pitch and present with confidence each and every time, just click the download link in the box below and it'll be winging its way to you. If you've loved this video, please make sure you hit like, share it with your colleagues, and make sure you subscribe. So until the next video, see ya.